Make sure that all the valves are working correctly. But what I also want is to go over here when you're testing the valve. You say, okay, it says V7, this one says V7. Okay? Over here, you follow it, and this one says V7. You could go a step further if you want. You could go, okay, this one says V7 on it. So the levels, the air hoses, it has to be traced from here to the bulkhead, from the bulkhead to the valve, and the valve has to be on. Okay? It's a two-part thing. One is labeling, and one is actually it's functioning.
My question is this all tie wrapped and everything, or you leave it all loose and you tie wrap it after?
After you're done, you have to make it look nice. Okay. I mean, this one is really, it should flow more smoothly. I mean, it's really coming 1, 2, 3, 4, bang, 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 bang. You put it and you flow it smoothly over there. It's a cosmetic thing, but when you tie wrap it, of course, you don't pinch it too hard. You're just holding it together, that's all. Okay, another thing that you need to do is much better, and this is not on the sheet, it's much better to leave the manifold under pressure than under vacuum. Meaning, don't leave it like this. Go ahead and open 5 and 6 and pressurize it. Because if you have a leak, we haven't tested yet. If you have a leak, there's something into the manifold. I agree that you checked it over there, but you still,
This is part of it.
it's part of it. Before you've done this one, you should have checked these all the connections that they are leak tight. See, if you have 5, 6 of those, you're not doing 5, 6 of those. You know, you're not doing it by yourself. Somebody's gonna come and put the manifold for you, or you're gonna put the manifold yourself. You're assuming that what they did is 100% correct. That's wrong. You know, you need to really protect the system by okay.
So,
But go ahead. Don't leave it under vacuum. Leave it under pressure.
we go back and open them up, and that will make it under pressure.
Yeah. If you open 5, you pressurize it, or you could open 3 and 7, and you could pressurize it.
Just open 5.
It's fine.
Now you're going to push by both sides, right?
You have to.
Do I go to 6?
Sure. Absolutely.
Right. Now we're going to the transducers. Kind of slipped on this one. I need all the information to do this. So maybe go over with me again. How to find the calibrator.
That's no problem. You're gonna do it, but I'll explain what needs to be done.
Okay.
Calibrate the transducer. You do it at 3 stages. Basically. If this one was in a semi-clean room or outside, I will tell you what the 3rd stage is. If it's not, only says 2 stages. Okay. The first thing is you apply vacuum. You open V29. No. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna go outside and smoke a cigarette and come back. I expect it to be done.
Yes.
You open V29.
Yes.
You open V8. You open V9. What you're doing is you're creating a vacuum on the manifold. Okay. You should read 76 torque to 91 torque. Okay. That's what you wanted because that's what the Venturi should supply. Okay. This is doing it the rough way. The correct way to do them is you create a small fixture, fixed fixture with the calibrator. You have to purchase a calibrator and you install it within the system and you calibrate it up. And we say that, we know that it's calibrated 90%, but we want to finish the last 10%. Open V29, open V8, open V9. Then the two transducers over here has two pots on it. 0, Z for 0, S for span.
Yep.
Okay? With the vacuum on, you adjust the 0 pot on both of them to read between the range that I gave you, 76 to 91. Okay? Then, once it reads that number,
Yep.
you go and you close V8, V9, and V29. Then you come over here. What you need to do this time is know exactly how much pressure is coming on your gas. Okay? And you should be at this time, you should be around 20 pounds. I mean, it should be 10 pounds. But to convert from pounds to torques is very, very easy. The number of pounds over there, number of pounds, you multiply it by 51.7. Okay? You get the number. See, it's 20, that makes it almost 50,000. Then you add 760 dollars. So this time right now, I'm reading 22. Okay? So 22 times 51.7 plus 760. If you do a rough calculation, this is 1100 plus 760. That makes it 860 torque. Okay. Now I expect the pressure transducer to read this number. Okay, 1860. But it only will read it if 5 and 6 is open. Because I'm allowing the gas in coming from the regulator to flow into the manifold, and to read it you have to pressurize it by opening 5 and 6. So right,
So I open this up
which this one?
to get to the 0,
Right.
and that's done, that's closed, and then I open up 5 and 6, and then I can do that.
Right.
That's multiplication, okay.
If you the multiplication you do that, just to figure out
Yeah.
which number you're going to adjust it to. I mean, if this one is far off or both of them are far, which
Yeah.
one do you select? You need to know
Yeah.
what to adjust for. At that time you open 5 and 6, leave them open, you go down to the pressure transducer
Yeah.
and you adjust with the span. Okay? But until both of them, they read exactly the number that you selected or you calculated, within, I mean, if it fluctuates by 5 or 10 or the difference is 5 and 10, it's okay. But shouldn't be more than 20 torque difference between this guy and this guy, and what you should do. Okay? Now, normally with the scales and pressure transducers, if you adjust one, you have to adjust the other one. And one will affect the other one. It's the 0 axis is for 0, and no, the y axis is for span and the x axis for the 0, but they shift together. Doesn't just go up and down. If this one goes up and down, this one goes left and right. So the point is, you do the 0, you do the span, you go back and you do the 0. The second time, if the first time you adjust it by 5 turns, the second time it should be maybe half a turn. Then you go back to the span again, and it should be very small turns. Eventually, when you go between both of them, you shouldn't adjust one of them. So you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth by opening 29, 8, and 9, then closing them, 5 and 6, then closing them. I'm gonna go have a smoke. These should read around 1860, you know, once you're done.
Okay.
You want it?
Okay. Yep.
Smoke time.
Okay.
Yeah, 9 of 10.
Okay.
VR1 is for A1 scale.
Yeah, we don't want that.
We don't want that. We don't want
Pressure
pressure.
pressures.
A1 pressure is VR5. But VR5 is fine. It should be fine. Because this is the A2 pressure.
Okay, yeah.
A2 pressure is VR7.
This guy right here.
Now, normally,
There you go.
yeah, that's not a normal calibration.
You shouldn't touch this one.
Right. Yeah. Now you can adjust your span to get down to the 1800 or,
Yeah,
or
I still leave it.
Okay.
The parts, any part, you could go all the way and then it's gonna start turning without doing anything. Okay? Eventually do nothing.
There's a clutch on the pot, is what he's saying.
Right.
Even though you keep turning the screw,
Yeah.
it's stopped at its limit, its
Yeah.
electrical limit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Therefore, that one should not, this is for
Yeah.
both of you,
Yeah.
that one should not be this way all the way or this way all the way.
Yeah.
It has to be
Somewhere in between.
somewhere in between.
But really, the right answer is when we calibrate this board, we calibrate for a specific output voltage, like 0 to 5 volts. 5 volts is then 2000 torque. Okay?
Okay.
Whatever the number is. I don't know what the calibration
Right.
number is. So then you can get the full amount of adjustment on the span or the zero clock on the transducer. Because this is already adjusted
So
up
this
here.
shouldn't happen
wider.
again because this one.
That's right.
It really shouldn't. If this one is made to specification and is adjusted or calibrated to specification, then you really shouldn't do a whole lot. You should, and let's put it this way, if you have to touch this one, something is wrong. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna adjust
You
that.
still have to adjust that. I mean, you have to play with it to adjust it. Unless you reach maximum. I mean, I don't